This is the Great Legend, and I'm coming at you live tonight with another one of those WWE PPV reviews. And tonight we are reviewing the all-women's pay-per-view known as WWE Evolution. And tonight I'm joined by my co-host. They're awesome. They're always with me. We're like the four freaking horsemen of the YouTube comic community / wrestling community. And that is none other than Comics with Bueller, Comic Core Chad, and C Wooded 19. Gentlemen, it's good to see y'all tonight. Are y'all pumped up to talk about Evolution?
I am.
I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know Woodard boy. He's, oh, yeah. Let's talk about the chat real quick. We got Mario Solis. What's up, Mario? He says WWE Nikki. So he looked like we got a Nikki Bella fan. We got Fish Tropic is in the house. Good to see Fish. Who Dat Comics and Movies, a.k.a. Russ. Awesome guy. Comic Core Chad is in the chat, along with C Woodard 19, Daniel Ybarra, and Jason the Mailman Smith. I tell you, man, good to see y'all in the chat. We're going to be talking about WWE Evolution. This took place a couple days back, I guess. Was it Sunday? Was that right?
Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night, PPV night. I love that stuff, man. Also, big shout out to Spider-Man Pack 19. Great to see you, brother. A lot of haunted little pumpkins to you, my friend. Well, guys, Evolution filled with a lot of great matches. You know, I thought, like, for what it was, well, we'll get to our final stuff. Let's just get right on in this. The first match of the night, Trish Stratus and Lita battling against Mickie James and Alicia Fox. Of course, it looks like old Little Miss Bliss, Alexa, didn't wrestle that night. I don't know if she was injured or whatnot. But, Chad, why don't you tell us about this first match? Give us your opinion on how things started out on Evolution.
So I actually think the crowd was probably surprised that this match started out first because, it has two of the biggest legends in it from the Diva era with Trish and Lita. But you know what? It set the tone. It actually got the crowd hyped up. Mickie James was surprisingly good in it. She did have one pretty decent botch, but Alicia Fox, she's been around for a minute, and there were some very notable botches on her end. There was the one where Lita brought her in over the top rope, and she literally kicks Lita in the back and causes Lita to fall down. And then you can see the pinfall one. Mickie was pinned, and she came in. I mean, that was not a 3 count. That was more of a standing 10. She jumped in like you see the ref pull it. But overall, I mean, these ladies haven't been wrestling for a while. They showed very little ring rust, but honestly, Lita was she was one of my favorites back in the day. And I love the thong, but what was she wearing? It was like a fishnet with a sewn-in thong. I mean,
maybe some grandma panties.
Bring back the well towel. Hashtag bring back the well towel.
What did you think about this match, Woodard?
Oh man, it was nice seeing the legends again. But I kind of disagree with Chad on the whole Lita thing. I still thought Lita looked rusty as an old car. Like some of her punches, like I'm trying to think she had somebody mounted on doing like a ground and pound, and I mean just the state of those punches, my goodness, like I was just like, stop, just go to a move, do something different. But that being said, the crowd was bonkers, especially when Trish and Mickie got in. Like, I think it started off Lita and Alicia, then they each tagged out, and the crowd instantly recognized, like, the WrestleMania 22 kind of rematch there between Trish and Mickie, and that was probably, like, the hottest the crowd was all night besides the what should have been the main event, but more on that later. Let's see what else I put down here. Yeah, the other note I took is the Attitude Era always wins. So it would have been kind of nice if it was a little bit more competitive, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Sometimes they get the legends to come back. They're not all of them are going to come back to lose and put over people. So I understand that. But the final thought I had on this match was at least Trish looked fine still. Like she could make a comeback today and still have the same level of in-ring ability, I think. And I think Mickie James deserves better. Like she looked really good in this match, I thought. And usually when she's highlighted on Raw and stuff, unfortunately she doesn't get highlighted on pay-per-view too much. But when she's on Raw, she's only highlighted a few minutes at a time and usually like jobbing out to a Ronda Rousey. So I still love Mickie James. She's one of my all-time favorite female wrestlers. Hopefully she gets something better down the line, but I thought her and Trish were the spotlights in this.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Bueller? What did you think about the girls from the Attitude Era versus today's more modern wrestlers?
I enjoyed obviously seeing two of my favorite wrestlers from the Attitude Era coming back. Lita's always been a little rough, I thought, as far as like how clean her punches are and stuff like that, And obviously she's got some ring rust, and it really showed. But I never thought she was as polished as everybody kind of claimed she was. She was always a great high flyer and doing that type of things. But obviously now her legs are kind of gone, and she doesn't quite get the elevation that she once used to. That being said, I love seeing Trish do her thing. She's a lot of fun. But honestly, Mickie James, she carried this match. She sold for those two girls just fantastically the whole time. And without Mickie James in this match, it wouldn't have been as good as I thought it was. Because she sold, she played to the crowd, with the whole Trish and Mickie James feud and stuff. You see them in there, and it's a flashback of the Attitude Era and everything. So my hat goes off to Mickie James, and Alicia Fox. She's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on with that girl, but like Chad said, she's been around a long time and stuff. And wasn't Alexa Bliss? She was around there somewhere, wasn't she? She was kind of hiding around
ringside, doing a little manager action. Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It definitely got the crowd into it, and like I said, hats off to Mickie James. She did a great job. I just remember like the Stratus faction move that Trish did on her, and Mickie James pretty much just carried her to the rope and put her on that top rope to set her up there.
Lifted her the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. And I was like, man, that's awesome. That's someone making the other wrestler look good. So hats off to her by far. So there you go.
Dang, awesome. Well, you know what? I like this match because it's just nostalgic, especially like Carson said when Mickie and Trish got in the ring and just kind of had that stare down, and of course the crowd's going crazy for him and everything like that. During the match, what I noticed, it looked like when Lita and Trish were in there, they were just moving really slow. Like it was kind of weird. It was like they weren't going full speed or anything, so that was kind of like interesting. Almost if they were walking through the moves and everything like that. And there was one time after Trish hit James with that Stratus faction that Mickie was actually signaling and yelling for Alicia Fox to come in there and break the pin, because the ref, you could totally tell he had his damn hand up a little extra longer to wait on Fox to break up the pin. So I felt Alicia Fox was just really sloppy there, not getting her ass back in the ring to break the pin off the Stratus faction. And it was good to see Lita hit the Twist of Fate on Alicia Fox. That was pretty cool. And then she landed the Lita Salt from the top rope, the classic moonsault. And then old Trish got a chick kick on Mickie James for some little payback. So I want to go over that. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. Let's go back down the line. Chad, what do you give this one out of 5?
2.
A 2? How about you, Woodard?
Yeah, I also put down 2 out of 5. I was also going to mention that I kind of forgot at first, that the very delayed 2.9 count by the referee when Alicia forgot to do that spot.
Yeah.
The crowd was all over him for that too. So I couldn't give it. I mean, it was cool seeing the legends in there, and it was a good opener, I thought, just to get the legends pop in. But beyond that, the match quality, I do agree with all Bueller's points on Mickey James. That's the reason I didn't give it a 1.5 or anything like that. So solid 2 on 5 for me.
All right. How about you, Bueller? What do you give this match?
I agree with you. I think as far as match in general, it's probably around like a 2.5. But just being with the legends back in there and kind of how it played out, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.
Yeah, and that's with me too. I just seeing Trish in the ring. Oh man, that brings back so many teenage dreams. But anyway, I thought they had 3. And for this next one, they have it was the big battle royal. But before we get to the battle royal, let's talk about our main man, Brandon Stawinski. What is up, Brandon? It's good to see Brandon in the chat tonight with us. Coming off the heels of a hot auction by our brother JP at All About Comics. Had a good auction last night. So it was good to see Brandon in the chat. So the next thing we got is the 20-woman battle freaking royal. God, I'm not even let's all just talk at the same time during this one. I don't know, man. What do y'all think about this? This is just because there's so much crap going on in here. You got the Iconics giving a classic Mean Girl intro. I really like those girls. I like Peyton Royce the best, but they're great little heels. And then the old codgers got to beat on them a little, and then the younger ones got to beat on the older ones. They were all old. What was some of y'all's memories of this match that y'all really liked about it?
I think one thing I liked about it is the fact that they gave every woman their entrance. And,
yes.
I thought that was really. I mean, it was a quick entrance. It wasn't like a full blown thing, but they announced every competitor and gave them a little a run down the ramp or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoyed seeing all those the past divas or women wrestlers, whatever they're called right now, coming down the ramp and stuff. And how it played out in the very beginning with the Peyton Royce Iconics and how they got thrown out, and then the past female wrestlers turn around, and it's all the current wrestlers looking at them and stuff. Except for Maria Canounos, or whatever her name is.
Yeah, that
she was on the wrong end. She's a current wrestler, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And she was standing with the past. So I thought that was interesting. But I thought that the match pretty much played out, with the Andre the Giant version of the female, wrestler one type thing, And I kind of saw that coming because I don't think she's had much screen time as of late. And usually when they don't and they put them in something like this, then they're going to push them. So Nia Jax came out the victor on this match.
Yeah, and that's going to be a whole lot of woman to push, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But anyway, how about you, Woodard? What did you think?
First off, I forgot to mention this in the first match, but it was nice seeing Lillian Garcia again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad they brought her back,
mm-hmm.
At least for a few matches. I don't think she did the whole card, but I think she did the first couple at least. So great seeing Lillian Garcia get a little bit of recognition for her contributions. I did time the entrances just for the heck of it because once I figured out the first person was getting an entrance and we had 20 people to go, I just turned on the timer.
Wow.
So just for curiosity's sake, 9 minutes and 47 seconds
of intros
was the time on all the combined. So that's from the point that Naomi's theme hits for her big dance and the iconic stop talking and the bell rings. Wow. So between 20 women, they only got 1 minute and 47 seconds. Actually, I think it's only 1 minute and 20 seconds more than The Undertaker by himself at the Super Showdown. So there's a reference point for you guys.
You only get the WWE facts here from Woodard. See Woodard 19 for you fans. How about you, Chad? What did you think about this crazy battle royal?
So I'm going to disagree with Bueller on the winner, Nia. The babyface turn. What's up with that? The tears. I think her stock's going to go down because she needs to be a heel. She needs to be that Braun Strowman. She needs to be the Brock Lesnar because Amber Moon needed this to be, since coming up to the main roster, she hasn't done anything, and she needed this win. And again, the storytelling on this one, I don't know the direction they're going, but it was kind of interesting to see Ivory wrestling, who is, a Glow alum. wrestling at 57 years old. I mean, what? 2 years older than the Undertaker.
Dang. Freaking awesome.
And we had 2 pretty decent botches in it. And botch number 1 would be Amber Moon and Carmella just spinning around in a circle, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like they probably forgot like what move they were gonna do, and then they just kept spinning like, what do we do?
But I was excited. I like to see when Michelle McCool was back in there. I like that.
What was another good
Why you always gotta give the ladies a hard time there, Chad?
Yeah, what about the ladies?
Well, I've got 4 solid matches that I was happy with, surprisingly happy with.
Man.
But on the botches, I did put on my notes, I'm like, it was probably a good idea to eliminate Kelly and Tori Wilson before they could do botches too. So I did put that. So
get them out of there.
And then I did like Alundra Blaze's elimination. It may have been the all-time safest elimination I have ever seen for any competitor in any battle royal. She like grazed the top rope, then gently laid down on the bottom part of the apron, and then went just both feet first, just stepping onto the ground lightly, thus getting eliminated.
Classic Medusa right there. Hey, Lana tried to break up a fight. Remember when Lana was trying to break up a fight?
Yeah.
That was
she
pretty
tried
dumb.
Twice.
Yeah.
Accidentally did the spot the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, she missed. She did it too soon.
Yeah.
What was your other botch, Chad?
No, I'm sorry. I haven't written it down. We'll move on.
But what about
I got a question.
Oh, I got the other botch, Chad. I wrote it down. It says, I put Tamina caught Zelina like her brother caught Undertaker at WrestleMania. Because Zelina Vega took a nasty spill on the outside, like when Nia Jax had her in the gorilla press slam. And then like she threw her out, and then Tamina just, instead of catching her, she caught her like head to head. Like literally, they headbutted on the way down. It looked horrible.
Oh, I saw it. I gotta ask one question, and I'll ask all you guys. They said she's gonna get the SmackDown Heavyweight Championship title match.
Who's Zelina?
No, Michael Cole goes, and she qualifies to face the SmackDown Heavyweight Champion. So AJ, you get to fight Mia.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that is a screw-up botch. Cole. God, Michael Cole.
She is not like most.
Won.
Dang.
See, I'm an equal opportunistic individual here. Yeah, I'm giving the hate to Cole too. And I had one problem. Why is there a male referee?
So only have like one female referee.
Yeah, it's the girl from NXT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got to get some more, hire some more or something. I thought it was weird how Zelina did the little hiding thing where she gets knocked out of the ring under the ropes or whatever. Then she came back in just to kind of like mess some people around and everything like that. God. And of course she turned her back on Ember Moon and Nia Jax or whatever. I really wanted Ember Moon to win too, but because the Nia Jax thing, it's like, okay, was she going to be a heel or a face or what's going on? My bet is they'll do a face-to-face, and then, of course, Dumb Bliss will screw up Nia over again, and then she won't win. That's probably what I'm thinking, but we'll see what they do with Nia. I'm going to go ahead and give this one, I'm going to give it a 3-star, just right in the middle. Bueller, what are you going to give the Battle Royal?
I'd probably give it a 2.5. It didn't really. It's going to be something you're going to forget very easily. Mm-hmm. It didn't really stand out anything. It was nice seeing. I think that's Alundra Blaze or Medusa's first time back in a ring since she was, with the WCW.
Yeah.
In WWE, so that was kind of neat. Even though she looked like a train wreck, but. But it was kind of it's fun to watch and stuff, But like I said, I'm not going to remember this a month from now. So probably a 2.5, somewhere in there.
Yeah. How about you, Woodard?
I gave it a solid 3 out of 5 just because I'm a sucker for battle royals. They're always fun matches. But there were, I mean, like we said, there were a few goofy parts in it. I enjoyed seeing one of my favorites of all time in the women's division, Molly Holly. I marked out for Molly. Definitely enjoyed seeing her. Also marked out for the dance break. I'm pretty sure Lil Jimmy had his hands on that switch to start that music. And then R-Truth marking out on ringside. They got a nice close-up of him. I marked out for that. So that was really funny. But the ending, you know, was kind of silly. We had the final 4, like 3 of the final 4 were from Raw. And I think the 4th one was Zelina Vega, which I did appreciate her lying, cheating, and stealing. Yeah, beyond that, I thought Ember should have won. I feel like they're pushing Nia because of the whole Roman Reigns situation that happens. And, you know, they see another superstar with a Samoan background and that relation. So maybe they're trying to take some of that momentum and push her as a face again, which they've already tried and kind of failed with. So because of that, that kept me from doing a higher. So 3 on 5.
Yeah. How about you, Chad?
2.
Just a good 2. Let's see. Now, the next match was one of my favorite ones. It's Toni Storm and Io Shirai. I always screw that name up. But it was the final, the Mae Young Classic final. And I'll start with this one. Just both amazing talents, really good, and then see them work together. And I didn't watch the first Mae Young deal, but supposedly it was, Toni Storm and Kairi Sane or whatever back in the day. But anyway, so Toni Storm and this girl, man, this Shira girl, they was doing all right. I just don't think they had enough time. Like, I wish their match could go a little longer. It felt like it was kind of a fast match, but they both got their moves in and stuff like that. I like how that one girl, Shira, got the 619 in and then did a little springboard sunset flip and she almost won it, but that other gal, Toni Storm, kicked out. And I like the Toni Storm's little Storm Zero finisher. I thought that was pretty cool. A little pump handle looking sit down powerbomb pin thing. I thought that was kind of cool. And she had to hit that twice to win. And then, you know, they did the classic let's hug and the flowers, and it was cool to see the old Sarah Amato, the female trainer, who really is pretty much like the Bret Hart of female wrestling. Like, too bad she's never like just won the battle royal or throw her into the mix, you know, but she was there, which was cool. Kind of give her some props because she was the one that's been working with the ladies in NXT a lot and all that good stuff. So I'm going to give this one a freaking 4. I thought it was awesome. Bueller, what about you on this one?
Honestly, I didn't know either of the 2 ladies that were wrestling, so I came in there, you know, without any information, and I really enjoyed the match. I thought they did really well. I don't know the age of the one girl, but the other girl, the blonde, she's like only 23 years old from what they were saying, and she was awesome. I mean, they were both great. That the 619, and unfortunately I'm forgetting her name, so I feel kind of bad. But the 619 she did, and then she did the moonsaw off the top rope outside of the ring. Just a tremendous move and very clean and crisp and stuff. I thought that was great. I really enjoyed the match. I think you're right on the money. They should have gave it a little bit more time, maybe 5 more minutes and stuff for it to kind of unfold. I think the crowd would have really liked some false finishes and stuff like that. But all in all, I thought a great match, really cool. Makes me want to go back and kind of watch the Mae Young Classic, which I haven't watched any of them. So it did its job, and you know, it's one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah, I think so too. And Woodard, you're a big proponent of the Mae Young, and like Bueller, I haven't seen the Mae Young matches. I'm still trying to finish through all the mixed challenge ones. But tell us about your Mae Young finale. Was it everything you dreamed of?
I wish I could. I wish I could say this match was a 5 out of 5, but unfortunately, I cannot. By the way, the Mae Young Classic has been really good this year. I still need to watch the semifinals aspect of it, but the first and second rounds are very good wrestling TV. So if you guys hadn't checked that out, I highly recommend it. But my notes on the match, the start was so slow. It felt like they were going in slow motion. So it basically based on that, I was like, man, how long at the time were they going to give this match? Because they were starting off like they were going to have like a 45-minute match, like WrestleMania style. Because it just felt very slow motion to me. But then they started to pick it up. There was a couple cool spots I wanted to note. So first, Io Shirai hit a really awesome moonsault to the outside, and that really brought the crowd into the match, I thought. Because that just looked nuts. And then they hit this outside apron German suplex that just looked really devastating. Like, it's just like I've never seen that executed. Like, those two ladies are just small enough to be able to do a German suplex on the ring apron. So I really like that spot. There was a pretty cool finishing sequence I liked where I believe Io went up top, tried the moonsault again, and then she got nailed with the knees, which that's always a cringeworthy spot to me because the person doing the moonsault can never really see, so it's really up to the person on the ground just to get their knees up just right so they don't kill their opponent. But that being said, I feel like I agree with you guys. It should have been given a little bit more time. Like Bueller, I think, said 5 more minutes. Then they just didn't get that. So I feel like they started off slow because maybe it was a little rushed for time toward the end. And then, yeah, I agree with you, Legend. I actually put in my notes, why couldn't Sarah Del Rey have a match on the show?
Yeah.
Because she was out there with Triple H and Steph, giving out the flowers and the trophies at the end, getting all the teary-eyed stuff in. And I'm just like, it would have been cool at least see her, like, maybe tossed into that Battle Royal and, you know, being dominant in that. Because I tell you, if she ever does, like, the whole Finley thing, because Finley used to be the one training the women, and then he had his SmackDown run, which was very underrated and a really good run for Finley. I was kind of hoping eventually they would let her kind of do the same thing one day, where it's just like, you know what? You're like one of the best female wrestlers ever.
Yeah, of
so
all time.
let's put you in the ring. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Mae Young, I highly recommend it. I think they have big plans for Toni Storm, especially being that she's only 23 years old. She looked really good here, so I think they wanted to put her over for a reason. So I think once they move along, the NXT women's picture, I think she's going to be next in line. Yeah, hopefully she doesn't get stuck on that NXT UK brand. That could have potential, but I'm kind of scared that, you know, a lot of people aren't going to know and watch that. So it might be best just to keep her on regular NXT and have her compete for the women's championship there one day.
Yeah, I think the UK, like, being like, she's Australian, right? The UK action's pretty. Australians are pretty popular with the UK, so maybe they'll probably be the only ones that tune in. Chad, what did you think about this match, the Mae Young finale?
So I agree with everything all three of you guys have said. Woodard, how long was Taker's entrance last time?
I think I said 8.5 minutes, give or take.
So this match was 2 minutes longer than Taker's entrance at the last pay-per-view. It was exactly 10 minutes long. You know, for the main event of the Mae Young Classic, I agree. It definitely should have had some more time. But the big thing to me was these two ladies were hitting hard. They were stiff shots that you could hear. And I hadn't heard shots like that probably since Regal and the guy that we don't talk about. Again, great moonsault by Io. And overall, I really, this match, I have it written down, match of the night, and then some other things changed that. So this was an awesome match.
Awesome, man. So, Chad, what do you give it for a rating?
I'm going to say a solid 4.
Solid 4. How about you, Woodard?
I gave it a 3.5. Like I said, I had high hopes going into this, and I think that 5 more minutes could have pushed it into 4 and 4.5. But that slow start and the rush finish, I couldn't give it more than a 3.5.
And Bueller, you said 4 on there, right?
Yeah, I'd say a 4 on that one. That's probably about right.
Good old 4s, man. 4s. We got a big shout out. We got some shout outs I want to give. Jason Smith still here. Brandon Stawinski in the house. We got Jay freaking D. Not just JD. We got Jay freaking D. And we got PD Hobbies, man. PD Hobbies, it's great to see you here tonight. Listen to us guys chat about some WWE Evolution. WWE's first all-women's pay-per-view. Next match was a classic 6-woman tag match. Natalya, Bayley, and the Boss, Sasha Banks versus the Riot Squad. Damn. I just don't know about this match. This is just one of those like, well, we got to do something with Bayley and Sasha, you know. Natty probably didn't even care, you know, anymore. She's just there practically training these people. And then you got Riot Squad, which, you know, Ruby Riot is pretty freaking awesome and stuff. The other two, Logan and Concussion Girl. I don't know. I don't even know much about this match. This was one of those ones where I'm trying to get my food in, eat my Wingstop and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to give this a 2. Chad, what do you think about this match?
So this was this was the sloppiest match of the night. I'll give the pros. Riot Squad did some awesome teamwork. Hot tags coming in and out. They look like a team. They look like they should have won. They should have won. Sasha had the botch of the night off the top rope where she kind of landed like that shit. Yeah, that doesn't look good. So sloppy match. I'll give it a 1.5.
Damn. How about you, Woodard?
I went into this match, I was really trying to be nice to the Riot Squad. So my notes I put down, like, I kind of like that they've given Liv Morgan this gimmick. I believe Michael Cole has called her the millennial heel, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what more heel gimmick could you have than being a millennial? So that's what they've given the Liv Morgan here. The other notes I took, what a waste of the heart attack. Like, the first move in the match was the Hart family heart attack, when I think they kicked out at like 1.5. I'm just like, really?
God.
That was a finisher.
Yeah, I know. It was the Hart Foundation finisher, and they use it for the first move, and it just does a normal move basically here. And then the Riots. So the Riot Squad had some really, really good, just sneaky tags. Like, they'd be tagging in, then the next person would tag in, so they could keep double teaming. So they're actually gelling as a team. So I'm just like, and I think my final note in this one was like, with that being said, what is the point of the Riot Squad? Like, they're actually looking good. They're the only, I think, 3-woman team they have right now. And then they lose to these thrown-together teams. So what is their point? And then going back to the whole thing about Sasha and her double knees, one of the other notes I put is Sasha's double knees are garbage. She tried it 2 times this match. One, I think, was just a normal, like, she's going to dive on top of the person as a running attack. And still went like crotch first, like right into their collarbone, which did nothing to them. And then the second one was like the off the top rope one where she's going to pull something. So that looked extremely sloppy. Why the Riot Squad didn't win this match, I have no idea. Especially like there was a part where I think either Bayley got thrown into Sasha or vice versa, so they're going to restart the chemistry there. But then Bayley takes a bump for Sasha, and then we're back to square one with them. So that's just, I think I'm going to die of old age before this turn ever happens between those two. I would have rather saw Sasha versus Bayley instead of this match, period. I wish I would have just thrown them all otherwise into that Battle Royal earlier. Or, you know, that way it would have gave more time to the previous match, which we all seem to love. So, yeah, I gave it 2.5 out of 5. I was trying to be extremely nice to the Riots here, but just the finish did nothing for anybody.
Strife all the way, man. Bueller, how about you?
So, this match was ugly. Okay, it was just an ugly match with all the stuff that was going on. I think you guys are right on the money of the Riot Squad. They're working well together, and obviously the Ruby Riot is heads and shoulders above the other two that are in the, as far as the members, and you can totally see that. But, you know, I sit there and I look at Sasha Banks and I look at Bayley, and here they're on the first ever, you know, women's pay-per-view, and they can't be happy about this match. There is no way they went back in that locker room and said, I'm so proud of what we did, you know, we've come such a long way. Those two, and I'm sure, like you were saying, Natalie, she's accepted her role, and she's kind of the coach. She's an active wrestler, but she's, you know, doing her role. But Sasha and Bayley have to be like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe that this is what we're booked on the very first female, pay-per-view, and this is what we're doing, they can't be happy with that. So it's very disappointing to see that go down the way it did. We all want to see. I just want to see Sasha in a singles match type thing, a good singles match again. I don't care who it's with, whether it's Bayley or whoever. Just give me a good singles match with Sasha, the one she used to have with Charlotte, which were just phenomenal. Give me something like that with another wrestler, and that would be awesome. But unfortunately, this match was a total letdown, and from the start to finish, nothing happened. There was botches left and right, and there was just nothing exciting. And very disappointed because there were some very talented wrestlers in this match, and it was a total waste.
I'm with you. What do you give it out of 5?
I would give it a 1.5.
Yeah. See, WWE, y'all need to start listening, because us 4 guys will book you a good PPV. Ain't that right? That's right. We got a big shout out to Who Dat Comics and Movies. It's good to see Russ back. Russ was actually, I think, the first person who said hey in the chat earlier tonight. And we got Genome. Genome Presents. What's going on? Great to see you here tonight as me and the guys go over the WWE Evolution PPV review. Now, the next match was a hell of a lot better than that botch match. And it was for the NXT Women's Championship. This is the first time the NXT Women's Championship has ever been up for grabs in a WWE PPV, because normally that's NXT. But it was Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. Damn, Bueller, what'd you think about this match? I'm starting with Bueller on this one.
I liked it. I thought that I've kind of come around to that Shayna Baszler girl. I think she's put in a lot of work to get better, and it shows. And she's kind of, her upper body is just ginormous. And
I wish I had her. I
shoulders
wish I had
are very
her body.
broad, and I know you do. But I thought it was a great finesse versus power match, and I enjoyed that. I love matches like that. And and then you got to see the other 2 girls that are her training partners, who we've always referenced, in the MMA world type thing. They got involved in the match, and you can kind of see where that's going. And it was good. I enjoyed it. It's I don't know about the pirate. I know you're a big pirate guy.
I love that.
So I'm a little sketchy on the pirate theme.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's pulling it off. She didn't do the elbow. At least I didn't see her do the elbow, and that elbow is just amazing that she drops off the top rope. I would have liked to have seen the elbow being dropped, whether she missed it or hit her or what. Something, It's a big spot, and so I wish I would have saw that, but that wasn't in there. But all in all, great match. 2 great wrestlers. Like I said, that Baszler has come a long way, and she's now a 2-time NXT Women's Champion.
Dang,
awesome.
That is right, man. That's so cool to have the first ever lady be the 2-time Women's NXT champ. What do you give it as far as the star rating goes?
I would, as far as a rating goes, I'd probably give it like a 3.5, probably 3.5. So I think that's better. I think that they could do a little bit more, with them 2. But it was a good match, but 3.5.
Awesome. Woodard, what did you think about this match with old Baszler and Sane?
These 2 have such good chemistry in the ring, I think. You have Kairi, she's just fiery babyface. Everything, she's just wholesome. And then you have Baszler, who's just this like Samoa Joe female type, basically. Just hard-hitting, submissions. She focuses on a body part and goes for it. So just that face versus heel dynamic they have is perfect in my opinion. Just a hidden highlight for me, I love Kairi's taunts in this match in the opening. She has like this like pirate scope taunt she does, like Kevin Nash sizes up people. She sized Baszler up with a pirate scope, so I've marked out for that. Then she did like this like backwards swimming thing before she did this tope suicide on the outside, so I enjoyed that too. But as usual, Shayna Baszler's arm manipulation stuff was great. I mean, it's always cringeworthy. I don't know how she does that type of stuff without just shattering someone's arm. because she like stands on the person's wrist and then kicks it once she releases the hold, and it just gets a heck of a reaction out of the crowd every single time she does it. And then she also had this like dangling middle rope arm submission when she stands on the middle rope, and Kyrie's on the outside. She grabs her arm. That had to just kill Kyrie, but yet she had the upper body strength. Baszler did the hold this move for the 5 seconds. The only thing that held this match back for me was, did we really need the horsewomen interference? I'm glad they're finally doing something with those two other horsewomen, getting them involved in the storyline, and hopefully we kind of see like a new, women's trio form in NXT between the three of those before, they eventually get called up to probably Raw. But I just think Baszler is the type of character who needs those clean wins. So to kind of need the interference from the other two, that's left a sour taste in my mouth a little bit. But that being said, I was glad that Baszler looked strong here for the most part and got the title back. And then they're probably going to continue to feud into NXT War Games in November. So I gave this a 4 out of 5. I thought it was the second best match of the night.
Yeah, I love the match too. I'm going 4 out of 5. I like Kairi Sane. I like the pirate thing, how she carries the belt in the chest and throwing out the coins and all that pirate stuff. And I like Baszler as well. But like you said, I didn't think Baszler needed any help or whatever. I mean, but it is what it is. It's a good way to bring the other two horsewomen in the match, the old Jasmine Duke and Marina Schaefer or whatever their names are. So, yeah, and then we'll get to see eventually that Survivor Series will come down the pike, where it'll be the Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, and Becky versus the 4 UFC horsewomen. So that Survivor Series will be out there whenever they want to pull the trigger on that. Chad, what did you think about the NXT Women's Championship match?
I will tell you that I think Baszler is an awesome heel, and she does a great, to tell the story where she, I think Woodard touched on it, but she focuses on an arm, and she makes sure that that's what she's injuring. She does a really good job as a straight up heel. Now Zayn, she does an awesome job as an underdog, but to steal something from Triple H, I think she evolved in that match.
Damn.
She came out as the pirate, but you saw a subtle change of a competitor come out of it.
Some of that Japanese competitiveness, that strong style, that getting pissed moment.
And I actually think she's probably looking for. She may be getting called up, and I think that's why she lost the match.
Ah.
So, I will say that this was also a 4. See, I'm being very positive. These are higher ratings.
Good ratings.
The last pay-per-view.
Yeah, like better ratings than some of the men wrestlers. So this match, the Smackdown Women's Championship match, the last woman standing. Damn! And then this match, you know how it is when they're laying there, the ref starts counting, and if he counts 10 and the person still ain't back up, they done lost the match. This match, brutally violent, nearly perfect, But I tell you, it was my most favorite match of the night. I loved the match. I loved all the spots they were doing with the chairs and the moonsault. I like the, I don't know if it was a botch or they meant to do it. Probably a botch, but, well, I don't know. I guess the table botched it because the table didn't break, so it's the table's fault. But Charlotte said, you know what? I don't give a shit. She went back up there and broke that damn thing with a little senton, a little front flip senton that put the weight on it, so broke it that time. I like the Becky climbing that freaking ladder and doing the leg drop. God, her butt bone had to hurt on that announce table. Those tables are pretty thick, but I think they're made for collapsible moments like that. But yeah, I don't have much more to say. I mean, this is just something. If y'all have WWE Network and you haven't watched this pay-per-view, just fast forward and make sure you at least watch this match. Freaking best match of the night. 5 stars all the freaking way right here. Chad, what did you think about the SmackDown Women's Championship match?
I love the fact that Charlotte was getting booed and she stayed with it. She turned heel. Becky was getting pops and she stayed with it. These two ladies gave it their all. It was a great match overall. It was a throwback match. I wouldn't even call the table a botch, but I love when the ladder set itself up.
Oh my God! Yeah, just like it was like Ghost.
I kind of watched that a couple times,
Mhm.
but overall, this was my match of the night. I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah, this match reminds me of some of those Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper matches. It's just awesome. Freaking A. Woodard, what did you think about this match?
My first thoughts on this is like, wow, Becky may be one of the most over people on the entire roster, period, at this point. She got probably the biggest ovation of the night, and that goes, with the Lita and the Trish pops and stuff from earlier. Like, and then just the Charlotte's turning into the female Roman Reigns at this point, basically. I think, people are kind of criticizing their handling of the storyline with Becky being the heel getting cheered, Charlotte getting booed, but I think they're just happy with the crowd reactions they're getting, so they're kind of just rolling with it. Cole didn't do the best covering up the whole thing, though. He goes, Becky being over, he goes, yeah, that Becky has a cult following. I was like, the whole crowd must be a cult then.
Yeah.
I did love the little chair off. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
You did see them giving out Kool-Aid, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, it must have been under everybody's chair like a Jeremy subscription. But anyway, I love the chair off, the ECW style. Let's throw every chair in right now. I'm always a sucker for that type of spot. I did like the improvisation of the senton splash off the top by Charlotte through the botched announce table. I didn't even know she had that move that she could do, and she just pulled it out of her arsenal. So big props to Charlotte on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Since my back went out about a month and a half ago, I just see these like lower back shots that Becky was taking, and it made me feel pain, I swear. Like, she took one bump onto a ladder, and it hit her like on the square of her lower back. I'm just like, oof. So that was a nasty shot right there. The only and I did like the Dublin jam through the German announce table. That was pretty awesome. But the only thing that kept this match from being like a 5-on-5 for me was there was this glaring, like, awful spot where Becky was in an awesome, like, figure 8 when her legs were tangled up in the ladder, and she's supposed to reach for that chair and hit Charlotte with the chair to get out of the hold. But then, like, they put the camera right under Becky and her arms, and you see Mike Chioda, the senior official of all WWE, kick a chair right to Becky so she can do the move.
Dang, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they could have like tried to play that off elsewhere or different, but the fact that they had the camera right there so you could see Chioda kick the chair. And I'm just like, he must be jealous of, like, Little Nate liking Charlotte from, like, years back.
Yeah, Little Nate.
My only, like, kayfabe reasoning for this. But I was just like, oh, man, that was such a jacked up spot right there. And even though it looked really cool, I just hated seeing the match being a little sullied by that. But because of that, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. I mean, it was by far the match of the night, in my opinion. Becky is indeed the man. So she's one of the best acts in the whole company right now.
Oh, man, that's good stuff, man. I want to give a quick big shout-out to two people. Genome Presents, I already said he was in the chat tonight, but great to see him there. He subscribed yesterday. And Big Lion Cat 646, thanks for subscribing, man. So, yeah. Bueller, have you talked about this match yet?
No, I have not.
What did you think about this match?
Well, honestly, it's their best match they've had together by far. It's out of the rivalry that's been going on between the two. There's been some ugly-looking matches, and this one is the cleanest-looking match. They both had. They both knew what they were going to be doing, and it showed. I mean, I've watched a few of their matches, and they looked rehearsed, like really rehearsed. And this match just looked like this, like. They went out there and said, you know what, we're just going to go for it. And we're going to do whatever we can to make this the match of the night. And they did. From start to finish, the match of the night. And it was hard hitting. I mean, it was hard. I was surprised that there was no blood in this match because they were taking some major shots to each other.
Yeah.
The one spot, and they use this all the time, and I always think it's kind of corny, is when they bury the other person in the last man standing match or
Oh,
last
yeah.
women's standing match, and they put a couple chairs on them and stuff, and like that's a big deal. They did that. They always do it, and sometimes they use a table and stuff, but it was just a couple folding chairs and some other chairs you get at Office Max, and apparently that's supposed to keep Charlotte down. So they did that spot, and that's cheesy. And there was a couple of spots in there to where the ref probably could have counted to a 10, because they didn't get up like in time, or I think they just kind of forgot, to pick the other leg up or whatnot type thing. And but that's to be expected. You don't want a match to be called, just because one knee is down type thing. So I'm glad that they didn't do that and stuff. But I like the fact that they went out in the audience and did all the chops and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah, the chops.
just all the tables that were broken and stuff, and the fact that she did, that the table didn't break and they just went for it right again. They're like, you know what, let's do it again type thing, and it looked smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look like they panicked or whatnot. Like, throw you up there, I'll do something else, and it's definitely going to break this time, and it did.
Yeah.
I think this is the end of the rivalry because they've already planned on Becky and Ronda at Survivor Series, which has a couple different implications to it. For one, like I said, this rivalry is probably over, and we're not going to get a 4 horsewomen battle at Survivor Series because they've already set it up, type thing, for the main event between Ronda and Becky. So that's not going to happen. But all in all, by far, match of the night. And if I'm going to give a 5, this would be the 5 I would give it to you. So this gets a 5.
Gotta love them 5s, man. Chad, what about this match? What did you think about it?
I reviewed it.
You already went, didn't you?
Yeah.
Damn. All right, we're saving you for the final say-so on this Nikki Bella match. I'll go ahead and start this one. The Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. And I was happy with this match. It wasn't like a 4-star or anything, but I'm going to give it a 3-5. I really like Nikki Bella, I like her a lot better than Brie Bella, and I like all of her moves. And, man, when she had her in that Rack Attack 2.0, I thought she was going to win the damn thing. I actually was like kind of on the edge of my seat hoping Nikki would win somehow, but it didn't happen. And then I love those arm drags and whipping that, looking like she's going to rip someone's arm out of their freaking socket, what old Ronda was doing to Nikki. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give that one a 3.5. Bueller, what did you think about the Nikki and Ronda?
Well, I'm not a big Bella fan. I never have been. Neither of them. I don't like either of them. And I thought one thing I noticed about Ronda, and I don't like her facial expressions. I think they're a little off. When she's like in pain or something like that. But Ronda definitely sells when she gets hurt. As far as her body language goes, I think she sells very well, and I noticed that quite a bit in this match. So I like that. I thought the match pretty much went exactly what I expected it to do. It was a good match. It wasn't a bad one. You kind of get little hints. That Ronda is she's got a little bit of a heel to her, especially in the beginning of the match, where she's just kind of toying with her type thing and stuff. And I wish that they would. I think Ronda would be a better heel, to be honest with you. Partner up with a manager like a Paul Heyman or something like that.
Damn,
I think that would just be awesome, And I hope that they do that down the road. But I don't know how they turn her heel or who they put her up against to get that reaction. It'll be interesting to see the Becky and Ronda match at Survivor Series. Who's the crowd going to be cheering for, and who's they're going to be booing for? So that'll be interesting to see. All in all, I thought the match was decent. I'd probably give it about a 3.
Cool. How about you, Woodard? What's your thoughts on Ronda and Nikki Bella?
Yeah, I didn't take a lot of notes for this match. It was pretty average. It kind of sucked that they put this in the main event just because I think the crowd was a little bit harder on it, and probably even myself, to be honest, because I think everybody felt like the last match should have been the main event. That being said, Nikki did perform here. She lived up to expectations, luckily. And then Ronda did the same. I did like the big stack of Bellas that Ronda did. It was kind of a goofy setup to the spot, but it was still cool nonetheless to see that, Ronda had the strength to throw around both Bellas at the same time.
That's like my OMG moments on WWE 2K19.
Yeah, exactly. And I did like Nikki hitting the Alabama Slammer on Ronda. That was an unexpected move to Ronda. But yeah, I gave the match a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, I definitely expected Ronda to pull this one out. My concern is next month at Survivor Series, they're going to put together Rousey versus Becky Lynch, and I think the crowd's going to be like 100% Becky Lynch, making sure that the Ronda's going to get booed, which I just hope they don't try to turn her into another version of Roman Reigns like Charlotte kind of already is. Because I truly think the main event of next year's WrestleMania will be Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. And there's no way Ronda's going to lose a match before then. I don't think so. That's why I'm a little concerned that if she goes in Survivor Series and beats Becky Lynch, that I don't know what that's going to do to her momentum and her crowd representation. That could put her over as a heel big time. But that being said, like to turn her heel before then, Survivor Series might be the perfect opportunity to do something like that. So we'll see what happens. I'm more interested in that than I was this match. So of course they get the end of the pay-per-view too. I do want to shout out Street Fighter the movie. They had like the pose down at the end. So that's all I could think of with the closing shot of the pay-per-view. So that got a chuckle out of me. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 is what I gave this match.
All right, and Chad, the final say on the evolutionary match of Nikki and Ronda.
Overall, I agree with what you guys are saying. I'm not a Bella fan. I feel that where they're at in the company is more entitlement at this point. It's because of celebrity status. You saw Brie get a couple cheap shots in, and I'm impressed with Ronda. She's been around now for about a year. She's been wrestling. She's gotten better on the mic. Overall, I definitely see her progression. I guess overall this match I will say is a 3. But I got one quick question: when do they typically do the brand switch or the draft or the trades?
The trades
usually after Mania.
Yeah.
Is it after? Okay. Because going back, I mean, everything's really heavily focused on Raw. Even most of the matches here were a lot more Raw centric. So I like Becky. I think it's great that the crowd organically has chose her to be the top dog. But yeah, what's going to happen when Ronda faces her?
Damn.
You got a lot of Roman Reigns-esque issues that are going to be coming up.
Damn, that's a good question, but we'll have to answer that at a later time. Oh, man. Well, let's go down the line and see what everyone thought of the show. Freaking A, man. Bueller, what do you give the show out of 5 stars? The whole show, the evolution, the pay-per-view, the all-women.
Okay, so let's be honest. I was on the fence about reviewing this show. And we talked about this, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, this is probably one of the better pay-per-views of the year. Yeah. And I got to give them credit, man. I think they pulled it off. You know, there's a little miscues here and there, but all in all, I enjoyed the whole card. And I'm going to give the pay-per-view, it's by far the best all-female pay-per-view I've ever seen. And I will give it a 3.5.
Awesome, man. How about you, Woodard? What do you think?
I agree 100% with Bueller. I was going to give it a score of a 3.5 out of 5. Definitely an easier watch than some of the other ones we've done as a part of this pay-per-view review. It lagged a little bit in the middle, like I said, kind of between the Women's Battle Royal and the start of the NXT. It had its rough spots. But obviously there were 2 really good matches and 1 decent match that made up for it for me, and that's obviously Becky, Charlotte, the NXT Women's title, and the Mae Young Classic finale were all pretty good. But one question I did want to ask everybody, who did you guys who would you guys like to see that on this card that was kind of omitted or what have you? We're talking about a little bit before we hit that start button. I feel like it would have been nice to see, like, I know it's impossible, but if an AJ Lee or something could have showed up, she would have got just a monster pop. And, you know, she's one of my favorites of all time in terms of women's wrestlers. Or like a Melina, like, give her some recognition. So, like, who do you think was missing out of this one?
Stacy Keibler.
Oh, yeah. That would have been a good one.
Yeah. Put her in the Battle Royal.
Who do you think, Chad?
Sable.
Sable, yeah, Sable. I would have gone with Gail Kim or Awesome Kong. Just to throw in some like that you don't ever really hear much about anymore, but you know, they could go a couple more matches, you know. And Chad, final thoughts. What do you give Evolution? And I don't know why I'm saying it like Evolution. I just am.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
So I was gonna give this a match. I'll give the performers a 3.5. The WWE a 2. And the reason for it is it was so undersold. There was really no hype around it like there should be. It's almost as if they are focused mainly on the crown jewel. I actually think there was no digital, like the digital scoreboard that goes around the ring was just regular, cloth.
Yeah.
The barriers were just bicycle racks. They used the same setup from all the house shows. And unfortunately, they were giving away tickets on Sunday morning, and that's one of the main reasons why they turned down the house lights.
Dang.
So, it's unfair because if you watch the first match, you can see the empty seats, and then the rest of the matches you can see the house lights are down. It's unfair to the ladies who overall did an awesome job. A lot of them surprised me. So, like I said, to the performers, 3.5. To the WWE, 2.0.
Well, that's what you heard it here, fans. We do have a question in the chat from my old buddy Dut Rank, the guy that got me into YouTube. Dustin, good to see you. He says, why they keep giving Nia Jax title matches? Must be nice to have the Rock blood, LOL. Yeah, we kind of talked about that earlier.
That's the answer.
Yep, the guy that got the Samoan blood in there. So that's your answer, Dut Rank. Well, let's see so Chad, what do we got going on, man, on the Comicore channel? What have you been seeing on there lately?
I've seen Uncle Paulie putting up a lot of videos. I've seen none other than Mr. Bueller himself putting up a video, and I see the community coming together as a whole, which is awesome. This week we have none other than Cat Wren coming back to join the core once again, and that's tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
That's right, man. Friday night, one of the coolest shows out there. Definitely check it out. Carson, tell us about that show that was on Tuesday night, man.
Yeah, we're still running with the Tuesday night live stream, 7:30 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday. Just having fun doing the usual. It always amazes me that more than one person turns out to the live stream. So definitely appreciate the community support I get there. And also appreciate Comicore. Have fun being on there every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. You never know who's going to show up on the Comicore. We're basically, to put it in perspective for you wrestling fans watching out there, we're basically more or less the NWO of the comic book community. Like, once you're in the Comicore, you're in the Comicore for life.
For life.
Ask Cat Red Figure. She made one appearance. Now she's back. Bueller appeared on our second episode. He's been stuck ever since. So they're all wearing NWO t-shirts. So it's always a lot of fun, seriously, though, on the Comicore. So definitely tune in Friday nights, 10 p.m. And we might have another one of these pay-per-view reviews sometime this weekend for WWE Blood Money or whatever it's called.
Oh, my God. Blood Diamond.
Oh, man.
WWE Blood Diamond.
Hey, Hogan's going to be there. Hogan needs a little piece of that pie.
Yeah.
He's wrestling Little Jimmy.
He's going to drop that leg one more time on Little Jimmy. Well, you know, I just just love being on. I've been playing a lot of video games lately. It's Chad's fault. He got me that Red Dead Redemption 2. But I ain't complaining. Shoot, I love that dang game. It's great. So I've been doing some more gaming. I need to do a review pretty soon on my Planet of the Apes Visionaries. I did a small review for that book on last week's Comic Core on Friday. So if you missed that, make sure you tune in. I got a Brent Peoples. I got my last page of New Superman in the Justice League of China. The original art page, which has them doing the whole Justice League New 52, the Jim Lee. It's like an homage to the Jim Lee thing, but it has all the Chinese Justice League on there, as well as I got my Jonah Hex sketch from Brent Peoples I need to show too, but I'm trying to find some frames for those. So I got that coming up this Saturday night after Friday. Friday we've got, Bueller's going to talk about it, but he's got this awesome live show. It's Comics with Bueller on Friday nights live, and then you can follow him over to Comic Core and watch the For Life group. And then Saturday we got an auction. You got Legends Live auction this Saturday, so make sure you tune in for that. And we're going to be possibly reviewing some Crown Jewel on Sunday night. And then another thing I got going on is something Edwin Strictly Comics is putting together. We're going to meet up on Sunday afternoon and talk a little bit about it more, but we're going to have 2 auctions, one most likely on a Saturday and one on a Sunday in the near future, and they're going to go, all the items sold are going to benefit the Heroes Initiative, which is gives back money to some of the older comic book creators in the industry that don't have a lot of money. So yeah, it's helping them out. And one last thing, before we get to Bueller, because I want to see what he's been up to in his channel, but all these, first ever WWE women's PPV, for WWE, that's pretty big. Like women is getting their spotlight. I felt like Paige really started something when she came on board and stuff like that. I think that was, for me, like AJ Lee and Paige. That was like, those wrestlers just freaking awesome. But so women are just as important as men are, not only in the wrestling business but in life, So I want to make sure everyone, is thankful for all the women in their life. And one woman I'm thankful for in my life and here in the YouTube comic book community, who I met through the YouTube comic book community, is Miss Hustle. And she's been doing so much for all of us and all of your channels, where she goes to Instagram and she, puts a picture and tells people when to catch your next show or your live video, or maybe it's a video you uploaded. Well, she's always there in the background making sure not only you get recognition for the awesome video you did, but she's sharing that video across all avenues of social media. And right now, she's going through some hard times. And y'all know that old blue-eyed plumber, he went through some hard times. Well, Miss Hustle's going through some hard times too. And if you want to find out how you can help Miss Hustle, hashtag Miss Hustle Matters, check in the video description below, and there's going to be a link to a GoFundMe page where you can read about some of the hardships that Miss Hustle's going through and laugh right now. And Miss Hustle, if you're watching this or listening to this, you just know that we all love you. Me, Carson, Chad, and Bueller, we love you so much. We want you to not worry about these financial things, but keep God first in your life and always trust in Him, and He's going to be there for you every step of the way. So Miss Hustle, again, we love you. And fans, make sure you check out that link for hashtag Miss Hustle Matters on our GoFundMe page, and help her out like she's helped us out. Bueller, what do you got going on this week?
Well, first thing I want to say thank you so much for reminding people about Miss Hustle. She's just a great member of the community, and I'm glad you brought that up, because she needs some attention and some support from all of us out there. So anybody who's listening, like the great legend said, if you're able to do something, to help her out, please do so. If you're not, and you know somebody who is able, let them know about it. Because it's all about helping our fellow community members, and that's what we're here for. As far as what's going on with me this week, I have my preview video. Will be out in the morning, and I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm adding some more effects to the preview video. It's making it much more harder for me to put together. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm doing it. And then I have my live show on Friday. It's going to be at 5 o'clock this week, Pacific Standard Time. And I have my first guest on my show, and it's none other than my buddy Comic Tom from Comic Tom 101.
Awesome.
And we'll be talking about some stuff for a little while. And once we're done there, then I'm going to jump on board the Comic Core, which starts at 7 Pacific Standard Time. And you can find me there along with my Comic Core brothers. And sister, apparently, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's it. That's all that's what's going on with me. So you can take it over from here, buddy.
All right, and yeah, we say sister, but we really just wanted her for her cameraman husband. But anyways, that's neither there nor here. I'm your host for Chad, Carson, and Bueller. This is the Great Legend saying peace out, God bless.